take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Were you rushing or were you dragging?
Here we go.
All right, welcome back to Movie Matrix. As always, my name is Jordan. Got Matt.
Avada Kedavra.
Got my dad.
What's going on?
Also known as David. And today we are back with our normal kind of episode. We've got, we're going to do a What's in the Box to begin with, and then we'll do a review for Godzilla X Kong the New Empire. And then we're going to have the review of last year, part 1. And so if there's something you don't want to watch, you can just skip ahead. I might end up making these timestamps if I feel crazy about it.
If not,
we're just
deal with it.
Fast forward.
We're just gonna be right here, yeah. So today, like I said, we're gonna start with what's in the box. Anybody want to start? I can start.
I'll start. I don't have that much stuff.
I don't
Okay.
either. So
I was gonna say,
go
where
for
David,
it.
you want to go?
Well, since I didn't watch a whole lot, I'll say some stuff that I bought this week or last couple weeks.
Okay,
So.
go ahead then.
Yeah.
You go ahead.
Oh, okay. Last Sunday, wife had to go into work, so I went ahead and watched. I was flipping through the different streaming channels we have, just looking for something to watch, and came across Hereafter. I had watched this before.
Hereafter.
It's the Clint Eastwood directed, Matt Damon.
Oh, I was sitting here thinking Matt
Got
Damon.
it. Yeah.
He's a psychic.
Who isn't?
And I'd watched it before, remembering really not liking it a whole lot, so I thought I'd give it another shot.
Yeah.
I still didn't like it a whole lot.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, it's just it's a movie. It's got him, Matt Damon. It's got Jessica Chastain has a small role in it, and then a couple other people I really don't know. It delves into life after death, what happens to us, that type of thing. Like I said, he's an actual psychic, not a fraud. He's an actual psychic. He actually
A real life psychic?
Yes, really. And so he touches.
Not in the movie.
And so he can really contact people after they die. And he did this for a living for a while and got burnt out, got tired of people just using him, and he quit. Is adamantly against doing it anymore because of how he feels. He feels like it's a curse and not a blessing. And the movie tries to delve into the afterlife and death, and it just is so shallow. It doesn't go deep enough into what you're into it to. And I realize nobody, can say exactly what happens after, but it just felt so shallow. It felt like it wanted to be deeper, and it just didn't hit. So it's not something I'll ever watch again. I just wanted to give it a second shot, and nah, not for me.
Maybe one of these days.
Yeah.
What else did you watch?
Yeah, nothing. No, I watched Godzilla, of course, Godzilla Kong last night.
Yeah.
And then watched a few, TV shows, Shogun, and we watched that documentary on the child actors.
What's that called?
we
Quiet on Set.
We binged that, and that was pretty good. I will say I'll go into a couple things that I bought over the last couple weeks. I bought The Ritual, which is really a Netflix original.
Yeah.
Had to buy it from overseas though because you can't get it here for some reason.
Netflix sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to own Marriage Story too, but it's like hard to get. So
Bought Miracle Mile, which is an old '80s movie about the. It's Anthony Edwards, and he gets a phone call, just off random on the street. And he, the payphone rings. He picks it up. Some guy on the other end said, "We did it. We've launched the rockets. You've got so many hours to live. You get to safety or whatever, and it's a wild ride from there. But it's pretty decent for an '80s movie, and it's fun to watch.
I believe you.
Yeah.
Don't know anything about it. Go ahead.
Got another movie from the '80s, Trick or Treat. This one's just a dumb movie that I used to watch as a teenager.
I've heard that's got like kind of a cult following. Like got like a banging soundtrack from the 80s.
It's rock god who's like a Satanist. He dies and he comes back as a demon to kill
Everybody
people.
does. That's
And
right.
it's just
Hate
one
when
of
that
those
happens.
kind of movies. I got The Thing limited edition. So this is like my 4th copy of The Thing, but it's limited edition. Comes with the poster and the cards. And all that
can I have money?
Nice.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah, whatever. I bought the Swordsman, which has to do with a blind swordsman from the
The best ones are.
samurai
Best ones
era.
Sure.
Somebody kidnaps his daughter and he has to go after him. It's
They
basically
usually
what
do.
it is. Yeah. About Portrait of a Lady on Fire, which I haven't watched yet,
Mm.
but I
missed
did
out.
buy it. Saltburn, which I saw, I liked, enjoyed that movie quite a bit. Riders of Justice, which I enjoyed quite a bit. That is Mads Mikkelsen.
My boy, Max.
Plays a soldier whose wife and daughter are on a train when there's a terrorist attack.
Mm-hmm.
And some guys come to him and say, hey, we think we know who did this, and would you help us? Goes from there. Fun ride. Pretty kind of funny, but still just a fun ride. Poor Things. Bought that one. Got that one in. Really enjoyed that movie. Dark Knight of the Scarecrow, which is another 80. I think it was actually made for TV movie. About a dude that he's kind of mentally challenged, and he hangs out with this little girl. They're best friends, and something happens to her. She's mauled by like an animal, and they blame him for it. Go after him. He dies, comes back as a scarecrow, and it's actually a pretty good ride.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it is really. Check it out sometime. It's actually
Sounds
on.
weird.
I think it's on Peacock, maybe.
Of course it is.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Peacock is like all the weird stuff in a good
about
way.
About the limited edition of The Strangers from Second Sight Films. Haven't put that one in yet, but cool. And then I have recently bought When Evil Lurks, which if you have not seen that movie, oh my gosh, watch it. If you're a horror fan, you got to check it out.
Hey, depending on how long this goes there, we might talk about it today, actually.
It is awesome. It is brutal. It is a great horror movie.
It is good. The only thing is, it's got subtitles. So get over it. Get over it out there.
And I'll just all in there. You guys go ahead.
The subtitle thing. Get over it. Some of the best movies have subtitles.
That one
Talk
for
about
sure.
a couple today, actually.
That one for sure.
For sure.
You want to go? Go ahead.
Sure, I'll go.
Ahead. We'll go counter this time.
Yeah, we'll go counterclockwise. We just like making stuff up as we go. Okay, so since you touched on movies that you picked up, I bought Alex Garland's Men and Steven Spielberg's The Fabelmans. Two movies that I like for very different reasons.
They're basically the same movie.
They're basically the same film. As far as stuff that I watched for the first time this last week, television out of the way, my wife and I have been killing Next Level Chef. I know you guys are worried about that. Yeah, we're
behind on that.
Yeah.
You got to catch up on Next Level Chef.
How many seasons are there?
3.
Yeah, I'm 3 seasons behind.
Dang,
so,
dude,
yeah,
you
sorry.
We're on Thursdays.
Get with the times, David. Throughout my work week, I got a comfort show on in the background all the time, so I watched about 30 episodes of Frasier this week.
There you go. Frasier is so good.
It's so underrated. I say underrated. It's won like 40 Emmys, but
even today, it still stands up, though. It's hilarious.
It still holds up. Really, the only thing that doesn't hold up is all their ugly ties and stuff that they wear constantly. Like, I can't stop looking at their horrendous fashion choices from like the mid-90s. Anyway, as far as films this week that I watched Jennifer Kent's follow-up to The Babadook called The Nightingale. I had never seen it.
I haven't watched that yet.
It's been out came out in 2018. It was very good. It is also very devastating and incredibly hard to watch and incredibly hard to stomach.
I like devastating.
Pretty violent. And but all that being said, I'm glad I experienced it because there was moments I'm like, gosh, I just feel sick watching this. But it's a really solid blood-soaked revenge tale. Anyway, I would recommend checking it out. It's on Hulu. I watched Disney Pixar's Elemental. I'd watched it before. I didn't really pay that much attention to it. My kids wanted to watch it, so I watched it again. Pixar out here trying their hardest to make me cry. Didn't work. Joke's on you,
It's
Pixar.
just okay, yeah.
It's pretty good. Yeah,
it's
pretty
okay.
good. It's what you'd expect,
Yeah.
My wife wanted to watch a film, so I let her pick a movie. We watched Coyote Ugly from 2000.
I'm sorry. Yeah, okay.
Really nothing about it is a good film.
There's
Nothing
only
about
one
it is
reason
good.
people watch it, I feel like.
It's so 2000 it hurts. It really is. It's more 2000 than the Fast and the Furious was when they're stealing VCRs.
pretty
and
close.
stuff. I mean, I wasn't mad I watched it, but it would have been better if I was hammered or something. But and watched Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire. And most recently I watched a slasher film from 1976 called Alice, Sweet Alice that stars, well, I can't even really think of many of the stars off the top of my head. Brooke Shields is the one who's like plastered all over the poster and stuff. She's in it for 10 minutes, but she
Does she love that?
She had like a really big renaissance like a couple of years after this movie, so they re-released a lot of stuff and put her name all over it. So yeah, she's only in it for 10 minutes. But I remember watching it, just a quick story. I remember watching it one night when I was supposed to be in bed. I stayed up and I caught Alice Sweet Alice on HBO when I was like 10. Scared the absolute piss out of me when I was a child, and I thought I need to rewatch that. It's still creepy. It's still eerie, and there's it's a very eerie, low budget, moody, almost like you would think it was like an Italian horror film, the way it's kind of violent and the way it's moody like that, but it's not. It's made by an American, but it's kind of boring at times, but it's still a very interesting murder mystery with creepy masks and unsettling children and whatnot. So if you get a chance to watch that, I would recommend checking it out. So that's what I watched this last week.
So I also watched that All Quiet on Set. It's 4 episodes. The 5th episode's coming out, so that's kind of only TV I watch, if you call that TV, because technically it's on Max. So whatever. It's technically an episodic thing, so I guess it's TV. To the movie, so we got into this real Jake Gyllenhaal mode. Me and my wife did.
Mm-hmm. Of course, it's not a bad mode to get into.
Movies I haven't seen from Jake Gyllenhaal that came out.
Really?
Okay, so in the last couple of years, so we watched The Guilty.
Okay.
I've seen that's pretty good.
It actually is a lot better than people say. I feel like. I
didn't care for it a whole lot. That's just me.
I think that it's top 3 performance by him.
I'm not saying the performance is not bad. I'm saying that I didn't care for the movie.
Yeah, no, I like the movie from start to finish, but like his performance, if he wasn't in the movie, it could probably suck. But his performance is really hammers it home like it always does. Watch Ambulance. That's about 30 minutes too long.
Ambulance.
Very generic.
Him and Yaya, they're good together. I mean, Jake Gyllenhaal is playing a little off character as like the bad guy. He doesn't always do that, except for Mysterio. Yeah. Spoiler. Yeah. But I liked it enough. I didn't realize you could have a 2-hour chase scene. They do it. They do it. So I was like, because they get on the road within 20 minutes. I'm like, what's gonna happen the next 2 hours? They'll be on the road.
It had a very 90s type of feel to it as far as overall movie composition.
I never got around to it. I know it's got that beautiful girl for Baby Driver in it.
It does. She is beautiful. Yeah, and Godzilla
I ain't mad.
versus Kong. She dies in that one too. Pretty sure it's her.
She does die in Godzilla versus Kong.
Spoiler.
Right.
Bummer.
I will say though, I want Michael Bay to never direct again. Unless it's Transformers. On my Letterboxd review, it says, take away his drones. Yeah. There's a shot of Jake Gyllenhaal just walking out of the bank, and you would have thought something was falling. He does like a little...
Well, I mean, the movie starts with drones everywhere.
Well, I'm fine with drones, but like he's doing like maneuver 8s up there. Yeah. I'm like, and they're just walking. Yeah. Not even a fun sequence. I'm like, go back to Transformers, because it's shot like Transformers.
Yeah.
Like 08 Transformers. Right. I was like, whatever, dude. It takes you out of it a little bit. Then I watched The Legend of Bagger Vance. It's been on my list for a long time.
That's that golf movie with Will Smith and
it's actually
Matty
pretty good.
I would say it's not my favorite golf movie.
I haven't seen it in a long
pretty
time.
good, though.
It is. It was the greatest game ever played, which is about the same time period, actually. But I like this one better. And anyway, it doesn't matter. It was actually really good. Will Smith, pre-slap. Really good in it.
20-something years pre-slap.
Yeah. Matt Damon, always good. Yes. You know, he's charismatic. It's just like his prime, you know. It's like... So he's great.
Yeah.
I watched Wildlife, which is another Jake Gyllenhaal movie. This is Paul Dano's directorial debut. It's got
I've seen that or not.
Jake Gyllenhaal and Carey Mulligan, and it's basically Jake Gyllenhaal is feeling down on himself, so he goes in to fight the wildfires and whatever, and leaves Carey Mulligan and his son, and then like they start. It's all about the son having to deal with parental issues, and it's really freaking good. Like it's Jake Gyllenhaal. He screams in it, so you know it's like his Oscar moment. He didn't get it. Carey Mulligan's always great. I mean, she's never bad. And the kid in it, I've seen him like one or three. I can't remember what it was. He was good, but he's got to like deal with his mom doing things he shouldn't. You know, while his dad's gone, she's gonna be like, "Do you still love my dad?" All this kind of stuff. It's really good. I like seeing Paul Dano. I want to see him do more stuff. That's basically why I watched it. It's Jake Gyllenhaal and Paul Dano's directorial debut. So, but.
I've vaguely heard of it. Yeah, I haven't seen it.
It's good. I think it went under the radar. I don't remember where I watched it at. I don't know.
When did it come out?
2018. So it's not old, but it's not. I think 2018 just like no one saw it. I feel like the only reason I heard about it is because I just like Jake Gyllenhaal and the the Dano thing. Like the thing is like directorial debut to Paul Dano.
And it's nice when you've seen an actor's most of their movies. And you're like, oh, what's this?
Yeah, it's like a little
Find
nugget,
something new,
little nugget of goodness. Kind of like when I watched Demolition. You know, that was a really good movie. Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh, another Jake Gyllenhaal movie.
Yeah, it's like kind of under the radar.
I really enjoyed that movie. Yeah.
Next, I rewatched The Truman Show. It had been a long time. It is so good. This is one of the.
I haven't seen it in so long, but I need to rewatch it.
I can't. It's PG. It's like I can't let my son watch this. I didn't think I would be able to, but it's like legit just PG.
Right.
There's like one bad word in it. The rest of it is just like normal stuff. And
it's not like mid-'80s PG.
No, it's
throw some boobies on screen or something.
Jim
Carrey
did
plenty of that
in the dramatic / comedic role might be his best.
Yeah.
Not just full Grinch. Maybe not like 23 or whatever.
He's one of those actors that when he went to do more serious roles, you're like, I don't know if he can pull it off.
Yeah.
But he does.
He
really
does.
good at
Yeah.
He's
him
really
and,
good in this one.
You think of Robin Williams also. When he started doing serious roles, you're like, holy crap, the dude's a really good actor.
Absolutely.
It's fantastic.
Truman Show, one of my favorite of his as far as performance. The Grinch performance is really good too. I know it's different, but like I really like this
But
one.
he's just being Jim Carrey. He doesn't have to be Ace Ventura and everything.
This might be his best. It's probably one of his best movies though. Like this and Eternal Sunshine are like 1 and 2 for me as far as his best movies.
Yeah,
I don't know,
yeah.
but next I watched Call Me by Your Name, going through Timothée Chalamet stuff.
I haven't seen that one yet.
It's a very good movie.
It's
now
really good.
I will let you know, it's a coming of age story, so I loved it. It's just a
Always.
different
set in Italy in the
set-
1980s, so
set
you
in
really
Italy.
related to that.
where Timothée Chalamet's Elio is found his first love in Armie Hammer, who is like 20 years older than
I
him.
found my first love in Armie Hammer
That's
too.
very
And-
disturbing, though.
and
Yes.
it's
I was going
it's
to say
an
before Armie Hammer turned out to be a creep. Sorry, this is
this is pre-cannibal
pre
allegations. I mean,
cannibal.
allegations. That's what it is. It was
I forgot it was.
he was allegations. He was never convicted, so we're not saying anything. But he
Oh my
supposedly
gosh.
liked to eat human flesh.
Yeah.
But it was a really good story. It's well told. It's just I don't know. I just like
Great performances, really.
Timothée Chalamet. Of course, is great. The end credit roll just
It's
break your
devastating.
heart. Yeah. It's just like a love, lost loads of better, that kind of stuff. And Timothée Chalamet's just like a confused 17-year-old dude. Italy doesn't care about anything. Italy's fine with you doing whatever you want. So it's interesting. I watched this new short called The Spider Within, a Spider-Verse story.
Oh, I've seen a lot of stuff about that.
It's like 8 minutes long on YouTube. It's very good. It has to do with Miles Morales' anxiety deep within. You go into his mind and what it's like being Spider-Man, but also be Miles and how anxiety can take over. Obviously, that relates to me, so I liked it. It's getting good reviews anyways, but it's like 7 minutes long, 8 minutes long, and so it's like, why not? Hit that off. I watched Primal Fear, I think for the first time.
Did you?
It's good.
I really liked it.
It is.
My only problem is that I wished I saw it before I saw this done a million times. Because I knew the twist, it was pretty obvious. But the only reason I think I knew it was because I've seen this done badly
Yeah.
so many
yeah,
times.
yeah.
This was the best I've seen it done, I think.
It's done really well.
I just
yes.
really remember the twist. I don't really remember much about the movie because I haven't
Richard
seen it in
Gere,
forever.
man. I'm not a huge fan of him. Not that I don't like him. He was really good in this. I watched a lot of Laura Linney movies this week. I don't know. She's been in everything I watched.
Yeah.
She's
I
really
only
good in
watched
it.
Pretty Woman. That's really the only
Yeah.
Richard Gere movie that I watched.
And then Ed Norton's obviously really good in this one. One of his better performances for
Oh, yeah,
sure for
that's
I think
me.
his first performance really.
Yeah, I mean, and he's good in it before he gets all like, on himself. And then I watched The Iron Claw again. Emma hadn't seen it. It came out, so I bought it. Liked it even more. So, big fan of this movie. It's very, very emotional.
It's very good.
It's very crushing. I watched, because Laura Linney's in The Truman Show also.
She
So,
is, isn't she?
yeah.
Forgot
Anyway,
about that, yeah.
Godzilla Kong. Talk about that in a minute. I watched Red Eye this morning with Cillian Murphy and Richard
not
McAdams.
It's totally because I recommended it to you a couple weeks ago, right?
I had on my watch list for a long time.
Really?
You just Wes Craven doing his thing, not his best, but it's still a good movie.
It's a tight little thriller, yeah.
And I watched Petit Maman. I don't know if you've heard of this. It is
No, I don't know that.
directed by Céline Sciamma, who directed Portrait of Larry on Fire.
Oh, yeah, I've heard
And
of it.
so it's a French film. It's so good.
Oui.
It is so. It's about a girl whose grandma just died, and they're going to clean out her house, and her mom's devastated, so she leaves, and she meets a little girl in the forest, and it's kind of like a sci-fi, but it's not real sci-fi. It's like a time travel. It's very good. By the end, it's just like it just makes you happy. I don't know. It talks about kind of like the themes of bonding as a parent, what you can do better for your daughter, even though you're going through a hard time, what she can do better to understand you, and they do it in a way that's interesting. I've never really seen it done this way. I don't want to give it away because
Don't get a lot of those movies where by the end you're happy.
it came out in 2021, so I don't really want to say what happens in it. But the girls, are like there's two girls, they're twins in real life. So I was like, is this the same freaking girl? So I looked it up. They're twins in real life.
Is this the Parent Trap?
So it can be a little confusing,
Right.
Because what they do, they kind of put one girl's hair up with her. You know what I'm saying? Just to kind of tell you which one's which. But it has to do with the story, the theme of the story, and everything.
Yeah.
So it's all about a hut in the middle of the forest that her mom built when she was younger, and she wants to just kind of go see what her mom was like as a kid. And she meets this girl. It's very, very good. It depends how you interpret it at the end. It's got an ambiguous interpretation. I interpret it as a very happy ending. I guess you could interpret it differently, but I think by the end, it's just a very happy story, and I was just felt good inside finally. from a movie, because Iron Claw didn't do that. I'll tell you that right now.
No.
It does not make you feel good inside by the end. 'Cause I watched that one right before it.
You gotta
Oh,
watch some of the,
goodness.
you gotta watch like one of the documentaries.
What a,
about
what a
that.
fun double feature.
'Cause,
Well, I didn't watch it in the same day.
Okay.
The documentaries are pretty brutal too. And then they've got actual interviews with the brother who is still alive, and who talks about it. And it's
It means Zac Efron.
yes, that one. And it's pretty just
Yeah.
it's heartbreaking.
Everyone here has seen the Iron
the
Claw,
whole
right?
story. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm not gonna spoil it. It's like that end scene where it's like he's talking to his kids, gets me every time, and then like whenever like the dream, I don't know, dream sequence or whatever, right there.
Oh yeah.
Man, it's tough, and especially being a parent, it's tough, man.
Yeah.
Well, I'd known
tough.
about that story for years, and so when
I'm not very
When-
in on the NWA. So.
I was really into wrestling in Texas in the late '70s, so
When
I
they-
was up on the.
when they brought it, well, I had seen news stories about it and how
Yeah.
devastating it was, and when they said they were making a movie, I was like, oh, you mean that one where all the brothers died? And it was like, thanks for ruining that for me. I was like,
Good Lord, you just did
oops,
again.
sorry.
Not all of them.
Not all of them, and they don't even show one in this movie for whatever
Exactly.
reason. Didn't fit the narrative, they say, even though the narrative is what he did.
It's
Anyways,
just too much. Sadness.
too much sadness. So yeah, that's what we watched this week, and also bought. I don't know what I bought. I probably bought some stuff, but I don't know what. Remember, I haven't bought a ton lately. I've been more selective. But anyways, I did buy the 12 Angry Men Criterion. I know I
Oh,
bought that.
Nice.
And Iron Claw. I
Fantastic,
don't know what else
yeah.
I bought.
Nice. Nice.
Okay, so we will go into Godzilla X Kong New Empire. I don't know, or it's
Apparently
Godzilla
the
and
X
Kong.
is silent. Apparently it's just Godzilla Kong. I heard.
No, whatever. That's dumb then.
Then why
Why?
put it-
Yeah.
why
Why
put
put
it
it
up
in there? I don't know.
Makes no
Stupid.
sense.
Like I said, like we always say,
Placeholder.
we're just going to talk about it without spoilers. There's only like one spoiler in this movie, technically. I would say one. And then we'll just kind of say what we think about it. So first of all, I will say I really liked it. I think it's only because I'm a big MonsterVerse fan. I've been
Yes, you are.
since 2005's Peter Jackson. It really turned me it really got me into this like
I've been
MonsterVerse.
there. For
Been here,
years now.
and you finally got another good one. And it's like, I love monkeys. Just as a monkey person, and so you give me a big monkey fighting other stuff, I'm all in. So I've followed this the whole time. I think this is what we've been wanting. This is where you've got. I think it's a good mix of human / kaiju. If anything, there's more kaiju than human. Now they bring the humans in to like push a story, some exposition. Is it annoying? Sure. Is it a great story? No. Is it over the top fun? Heck yeah. That's
Yeah.
what I wanted. I'm not saying this is perfect. People are going to hate this. Some people are going to love it. But for me, it's not really spoil. There's like 9 or 10 Titans in this movie.
Yes.
And there's a 8-minute sequence of just Titan fighting. And that's what you want. Okay? That's what you want. And there are some really awesome sequences with monkeys, awesome sequences with Godzilla, awesome sequences with Shimu, which is in the trailer, so it's fine.
Right.
All kinds of cool stuff that goes on. And I think they try to do the comedy hits mostly. I feel like the comedy was fine between Dan Stevens and, was it Brian Henry?
Brian
Tyler Henry. Solid. And then I think the heartfelt moments, they're not the best, but it's okay. Between the little Iwi girl and Rebecca Hall, it's
The
fine.
one at the end it might tear you up a little.
Yeah, I think it's better than what they've done as far as humans go. And, because it's a tough mix, but this one, you're in the Hollow Earth a lot, which is what we all want. We all want to know Hollow Earth, all that stuff. So, there are bad things about this movie, but there's not enough for me to really say I didn't like it. I'll buy it when it first comes out. I was a big fan of this one. So,
I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel you. I'll give my thoughts now, I guess.
Go for it.
If you are going into this movie for the sole purpose of watching giant monsters beat the snot out of each other, the movie delivers. That it delivers on that for sure. And I am appreciative of that because the human characters are finally pushed to the side here.
Thank
Few
you.
people will complain because
Thank
of
you.
that, I think. But the story does suffer because of that. But you know what? We don't even really need a story. Like, any other film, I'd be like, I need a good story front and center. Not a film like this. I don't care. I don't care at all. Now, I will say the story is not very good. The human characters are not the main stars. They don't feel needed at all. They throw in a bunch of dumb plot points just to make the human characters have something to do, really.
yeah.
So it's not really necessary, even though it's probably 60% Titan battles and 40% human character interactions.
Yeah, I
which-
say finally. Okay.
Finally.
Cool.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what? That's fine. Again, there's dumb, ridiculous plot points with these humans finding civilizations
Yeah,
and
there
stuff,
is.
and
Like, whatever.
and Hollow Earth,
Yeah.
whatever. Don't care. Just get back to the monster
Yeah.
action. You know what I mean? But again, at the end of the day, though, I got what I wanted, which was big, fun, inventive bombastic, stupid action sequences with a bunch of creatures just walloping the snot out of each other. That's what I wanted, really. I didn't really want much else, and that's what I got. So the movie delivered on what I wanted.
Yeah.
Right.
And I will say, while I'm thinking about the characters, I like that this film substantially trims down the human characters that we follow. That we. I mean, there's some other small ones, like there's government people back here, wherever, and you don't really care about them, but they're not necessary to the story. But you only get like 4 main characters, really. Yeah, Dan Stevens, who's just happy to be there. I think the character and him in this movie, he's just happy to be there. Brian Tyree Henry's good. He's like the comedic relief. Rebecca Hall's a really underrated actress. She doesn't have much to do in this movie because it's a freaking Godzilla Kong movie.
Yeah.
But she's a very underrated actress, I think. And that little deaf girl, Iwi girl, whatever, she's good as well. Those are your 4 characters really that you spend time with, and I'm okay with that. They were all likable enough. I didn't, again, they didn't serve any purpose really. When you think about it, this movie didn't really serve a purpose besides just action. But who cares? You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. It does not matter. I will say. Like I said, there were some really fun, inventive, over-the-top action sequences involving all these kaijus, and it was a good time. It was a good time. The design of all the creature design, the special effects of Kong, Godzilla, the facial expressions, just everything was very, very well done. All the CGI looked excellent on each character. Kong, just the emoting, everything looked great. Almost everything else looked like garbage. You know what I mean? But I would rather have Godzilla, Kong, the other kaiju, the other creatures, all these weird, because when they go into Hollow Earth, there's all these wild creatures and stuff you've never seen before. I would rather have all that look good and then just the background and scenery and stuff suffer, which I think it does. But nobody really cares about that. You don't necessarily, I get it, unless you're just a hardcore, purist, you don't necessarily care how this particular backdrop looks or whatever. You just want the fighting, and you know what? The action looked good. Like I said, the rest of the stuff suffered through CGI and whatnot, but the action was there. That's all anybody ever really wanted, so.
Yep.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you're looking for kind of a dumb, suspend reality for a couple of hours with a lot of action type of movie, this is your movie, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
This does it. The acting was good. The script, not so much. I thought that what I enjoyed is we got what we've finally been asking for through this whole series.
Right.
More monsters, less people. And I thought they did it. But I will say that at times it was overwhelming. It's like, we're going to give them a lot of monsters, so let's take it up to 10. Then like, nah, let's give them 12. And so like on the screen, it was almost sensory overload at times. With what all was going on, especially when you got the final fight, it was just all over the place. It was just crazy. My eyes were going, what am I supposed to be looking at here?
Everything.
So it was almost sensory overload at some points, but at the same time, it was still fun. It was fun to watch. I will say that as far as the script goes, man, there's a lot of dumb things in this movie. I'm sorry, it was dumb, coincidental stuff that just. Oh, really? So it's happened for that reason. Yeah, it was kind of just. But that's not why we come to watch this movie. That's not why we watch these movies, these series of movies.
That's right.
We watch them for the Titans. We watch them for the fighting. We watch them just to turn your mind off and go, yeah, that's it. And that's what we got in this one. Like I said, this one, the other ones definitely suffered from too many people, too much exposition, too much talking, but not enough Titans. This one. They hit you with it. They went from the middle Earth to the top side, and we were back and forth, and we got to see a more history of the Iwi. Was it Iwi people?
Iwi,
Is that what they're called?
Kiwi. Yeah.
No, it's Iwi.
Iwi. So we got to see more of a history of the Iwi people, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Who they are, where they come from, and it was just fun.
Right.
I mean, it just was. It was fun. So
Yeah, I'll give like a small overview of kind of what the story is, even though it's pretty paper thin. It's just meant so we can have battles, which is what I want. There are a couple conveniences I think I want to talk about a little bit, but I didn't mind them as much. So basically the overall story is something is calling out for help in Hollow Earth, it's getting Godzilla all rustled up. He is
getting rustled
and
up,
he's powering up.
Somebody's ruffling his jimmies.
I will say that it starts with both Godzilla and Kong just ruining people, like ruining not people, but Titans and stuff.
Yeah.
I like that representation, showing that they still ruled their areas. Like Godzilla still rules up top.
Yeah,
Kong
they
is
started
still,
the movie off really well.
Yeah, it really brings you in.
The two scenes, absolutely.
For sure. So you get that, and then basically there's something ruffling some feathers for Godzilla. Something's happening. Kong gets hurt. Well, he doesn't get hurt. His tooth hurts. He just like have an infected tooth, which Matt knows.
I was like,
Somebody who has two.
Yeah.
I have to go to the dentist multiple times a year for that exact reason. I feel you, Kong.
And there's a point where like something takes out the cameras in Hollow Earth, but you don't know what it is. But Kong comes up basically, and they don't want Godzilla to know because Godzilla have to fight him because they can't be in the same spot. Their egos are actually really. I feel like Godzilla's ego is a little higher than Kong's because Kong is a little bit more. I think might be
probably
smarter,
more intelligent.
yeah. But Godzilla's more powerful. So it's when you have atomic breath, it's not fair. But anyways,
that's true.
I'm a Kong.
Godzilla's a big dummy. I mean, I love him.
Yeah,
but.
I'm on the side of Kong, anyways. But and so they go back into Hollow Earth, and that's basically the first part of the movie. Like we can talk about what happens in that, and then they kind of figure out the distress signal, which is where you find out more about the Iwi stuff. Which I don't think it's a spoiler because who cares? Really, I mean, like they explain it.
Yeah,
but in
it's
most
like
of
an
the
hour of the
exposition,
movie. Yeah, they find
some scribble on some walls, and she now knows Iwi because we saw a book, like you said.
Yeah,
and so she can read the scribble, right? So that's kind of how you get it by exposition because they don't talk; they're telepathic. Whatever, that's fine.
Sure,
the Iwis are telepathic. She is, so why can't they be?
Right.
And so you get to meet, then you realize that Kong's got family there. I guess distant family, which is in the trailer. You get little mini Kong, and you get other people, and then you get to see Scar King, who's a menacing ape. He's an orangutan, and you get a lot of cool fight scenes with all this stuff, and that's kind of the point of the real point of the movie is that Scar King just wants to take over the top. Mm-hmm. And in the past, Godzilla stopped him thousand years ago, and he put him back down in Hollow Earth in his own spot. Now he found a way back up, and Godzilla's getting ready because he almost died last time.
Right.
But this time he's like, I'm gonna suck up every nuclear thing, and I'm gonna go suck up a Titan. I'm gonna beat a Titan up, and then I'm gonna take all of his energy.
Yeah.
Which is
suck up a Titan.
That's how he turns pink.
And he did.
Which is in the trailer. He turns pink because he sucks up pink from this other Titan. Different Godzilla can do different things.
Tennessee Titans joke, but
yeah, different Titans can do different things. The thing about this Godzilla though is that Godzilla -1 came out last year. Sadly for it, it's a lot better Godzilla, but it's a different iteration. This Godzilla can jump and dive. I mean, whatever. He's a very agile Godzilla.
This is the Michael Phelps of Godzilla, really.
He's got some WWE moves also.
He
so.
suplexes a couple, which I think is, if you, it's a giant lizard. They can do what they want with him.
There you go.
But that's kind of the overview of the story. You guys, we can start picking things. I think that like the first battle. What's the first battle you really see between Titans? I guess it's not the Godzilla one, but I guess it would be Kong and Scar King. It's kind of the first big Titan on Titan, right?
Mm-hmm.
That you because Godzilla fights thing underwater, but I don't.
Well, he fights that crab thing at the beginning.
Yeah, that was kind of the beginning, right? Yeah. So you get to see a lot of that. And then you find Scar King. It's a good fight. He realizes he can't win. I mean, Mini Kong's great. You like the Mini Kong scene.
Yeah, I was just about to say one of my favorite action sequences was a fairly simple one near the
funny.
beginning.
I was
Like
laughing,
there was nothing wild or over the top about it, but it was just like a fairly simple, just brute force action sequence of Kong taking on a bunch of other monkeys that are just pissed at him, basically.
Yeah.
Like he tries to love on Mini Kong at first, and they're just kind of freaked out, really. So he bites him and picks up Little Kong and just starts beating the snot out of the other monkeys with him and stuff. And then
it was hilarious.
I took my 7-year-old son to watch this, and all he took away from this movie was, "Did you see Kong throw that rock 500 feet and hit the other monkey in the head?" I'm like, "Yeah, I did." Freaking Tom Brady over here, dropping dimes.
I'll say that one thing I really enjoyed about this movie was how many other Titans they brought into it. Because, okay, I know Kong, I know Godzilla, Mothra a little bit. I don't know a whole lot about this universe.
Yeah, me neither.
And I know they've introduced so many different Titans in the past. From the 50s, 60s, whenever they started this thing.
Ghidorah.
Yeah, and so I thought it was really cool how they brought in all these other Titans into this movie. And even a couple of them, they kind of explained who they were, what they did, their
nice.
powers, which was very interesting for me because I didn't know, and to see these other Titans, and they did them really, really well as far as the effects go, and so I really appreciated that. And
Yeah, I was afraid it wouldn't be good.
and seeing all these other ones, you're going, wow, they have this really huge universe that they can expand into, and so that's really cool.
Yeah, there's like millions of so the main Titans that are the big ones, obviously Godzilla, Kong, and you see the rest of the big ones in Godzilla, King of the Monsters, and Ghidorah and all them. But then they're starting to get into like the ones that aren't as famous, but are still super cool. Shimu's super cool.
Right.
Not the most famous one. He's in Destroy All Monsters, I think. I think that's the one he's in. I don't remember, but I know he's in one of those old ones. And so they're starting to bring all these back, and really, I think it's fun. I think it'd be really fun to grow up right now with these movies because you're really getting like the best version of these movies because of the effects. I'm not saying story-wise, because the little ones are stupid, story and effects. It's like.
But yeah,
to be fair, the old one Godzilla does drop kick King Kong in the old ones.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
I feel like if you're just an average moviegoer between the ages of 5 and 55, you can have a good time with these movies. You know what I mean?
And it could spark like I want to go back and watch old ones, which might be bad for them because they're not very good.
Yeah, somebody's gonna go back and watch 1954 Godzilla or whatever and probably be disappointed.
Let's go ahead and just hit spoilers, because I don't know how much we can talk about spoiling it, but okay. So I think one of the best parts, something happens and he's able to go farther into Hollow Earth, and he finds an uncharted area where he find all these monkeys, apes, his at least extended family. Because it has to be. Come on. And he goes and he's like standing up for all these looks like Lord of the Rings, like they're making all kinds of different stuff in this volcano type thing.
They got hard labor. They're moving rocks.
It's just like
Yeah.
Real primitive.
Slaves. They're slaves, basically.
Yeah.
That's where everything you order from Temu comes from.
Yes, it is. And this is where you first see Scar King, and he's like, Kong's like, I'm the Titan. I'm the captain now, you know. And Scar King's like, no, I am.
Kong quoted Captain
Yes,
Phillips.
he
I heard
does.
him. Yeah.
I actually like the no dialogue. Like they don't like. I like when they're signing. They don't tell you what they're talking about. I don't care what they're saying.
Yeah, because you can
tell.
You can understand from body language.
Mini Kong's like, uh-oh. You know, it's like, don't go over there. But you get the Scar King and everything, and, you know, it's kind of a fair fight. Like, they're, you know, King Kong's kind of hurt. Scar King's hurt because, you know, he suplexes them or whatever. They're throwing each other around, and then all of a sudden you get, like, the parting of the waterfall volcano thing, and Shimu comes out, and then Godzilla, and Kong's like, uh-oh. He's the reason for the Ice Age.
And Scar King already tore up before he brings out Shimu. He already tore him up a little bit with his little whip knife thing that he has.
Yeah, he's got like a spine with the end.
But you still felt like, you know, Kong was the superior.
Yeah.
At that point, you still feel like he was the superior.
I mean, look how ripped he
at that time, right?
Kong's just. There were several times he's standing up. He's so cut.
And you felt like at any time he could actually take Scar King.
Yeah.
Until, you know, they bring out this other Titan, and holy crap.
Yeah, they give Scar King his Godzilla, basically. You know, it's like that's what they did. Because he is kind of like a Godzilla. He just ice one. You know, it's not.
And
which
older.
is cool. I mean, that's a cool concept, I guess, for a creature like that.
Because, I mean, you can't put Scar King against both them at the end. It's not fair.
By the way, I'm going to go home and change my gamer tag on my PlayStation to Scar King. It's pretty sick.
Pretty metal.
It's a pretty metal name.
There's a lot of really, like, metal shots in this movie. Like, when he's going across, like, a spine bridge, when he's, like, there's, like, all kinds of metal. Like, they just really lean into it. But he runs away. Mini Kong's like, oh, here, you can't win against Shimu. He's way too powerful. But Scar King is manipulate him with pain. He's got the end of like one of his tails or something like that, and he's able to make him have pain, and he does what he wants. So that comes into play later. So I want to say that, but he gets frostbite basically because he's like stopping, which is impressive. He stopped it, but he goes like he's like oh, and just stops it, whatever. He gets frostbite, and so by this point, the humans have figured out a way to get past like this shield in Hollow Earth because the Iwi girl can see things.
Mm-hmm.
And this is when you start getting back into Mothra. Mothra does die in Godzilla King of the Monsters.
I couldn't even remember. I
couldn't
didn't remember anything
either.
about that movie.
She sacrificed herself. I think Ghidorah is about to kill Godzilla. She sacrificed herself, and so Godzilla, I think it's Ghidorah. I don't remember which one it is. I think he's the big dragon. So
It doesn't matter at this point.
dies. So it finds out you can reincarnate Mothra through Iwi-ness. And they don't really explain
I like
that.
the Iwi-ness.
But I love Mothra. Great character.
Give me your best Mothra sound.
I can't. She does
Please.
spit webs. I didn't know that.
It does.
But
That's terrible. Sorry.
It's like the monster's version of Spider-Man.
Right. And so, but in order for that to happen, Mothra is like the middle ground, right? Because she's a big fan of Godzilla. Godzilla's a big fan of her. So if she backs Kong, he will too, right? So that's a big plot point. She has to go resurrect, but at this time, Kong is like can sense her there, so he goes to the humans. This is probably where you guys are where most of the coincidence starts to come into place.
Yeah.
So they explain that whenever Kong fought Godzilla, he wasn't enough because he's not powerful enough. Without atomic breath, I think it's pretty close. As you can see, that when they fight later on, it's pretty close until atomic breath comes into play. Right. So I gave him the axe, But
yeah.
He can have his own atomic breath. But they said they were going to weaponize him with like it looks kind of like the Hulkbuster.
Mechanical hand.
Okay, yeah. But they stopped at the hand because they said that it was costing too much and that it didn't need to go through because they don't want to weaponize an already strong Titan that could hurt them even more.
It's pretty convenient that they had that arm locked and loaded on the arm that he got frostbite on.
It just I don't think it would matter. I think it like went to. It just so happens that it's in Hollow Earth. Yes, that's coincidental, but I can also see why it would be there. And he flies it in there. He puts it on him. It goes to him, and he likes it. Right. So that makes him have his hand back.
Because he does an epic.
Yeah. He's like, I think he likes it.
Yeah.
Get his hand back. It doesn't have electrical charges. It helps the story move along because he's hurt. And then you get where he's a little bit stronger in that hand. He can reinforce it, which is whatever. I mean, I saw it in the trailer. I thought it would be stupid. I liked where they did it at least. At least it wasn't he just found it. Right. I was afraid he would be like, oh, I found a hand. So I didn't mind that. Coincidental? I mean, sure. But at the same time, makes the story better. It's more fun, so.
Yeah, it just gives you another element of creativity while they're fighting and whatnot.
I do like how they show Kong's intelligence in this one. And like Kong Skull Island, he's intelligent. He's like stepping on Samuel Jackson and stuff. But I like his intelligence. He like realizes he's like, I cannot beat Shimu and Scar King.
Yeah,
he's like, I have to go get help. And he's like, great.
Well, even the little Iwi girl, whatever, she's like, I asked him for help.
Yeah,
and so he's like, okay.
At this point, you find out that the distress signal is the Iwi. So they have I don't know how this works. They have a way to mess with gravity with these pyramids and Hollow Earth. They don't explain it.
I don't think the screenwriters know how it works.
No,
really, but
and that's okay.
Well, I think okay, this is its own enclosed universe, so we get some weird things,
right?
And quite possibly these are I'm gonna say probably alien offspring or something that communicate telepathically. I mean, nobody speaks,
right?
It's all through telepathic communication, and and the whole tribe is like that. So I'm going with maybe an ancient alien civilization. We have aliens already in this universe with the Titans, so why not, right?
Right. Some would say we're the aliens in this universe. They're here first.
Could be.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. You're right. I think it's ancient civilization that kind of like was at Skull Island for a little while, but they were at in the Hollow Earth to begin with. So yeah, I agree. But they're able to they have points to get in and out of Hollow Earth without having to open it,
right?
Which is what Scar King sees. So he's trying to get out. But Kong's like, I guess I gotta go get Godzilla. And Godzilla's just like a big, meaty, mean dude. Ego off the charts. Like if you're in his spot, he wants you dead. So he goes up there and they get in their fight. It's a good fight. That's when Godzilla suplexes Kong. Good fight. Kong is basically winning. Like because that hand. He's beating the crap out of him. He's like pulling him to get back into Hollow Earth, and then he charges up.
Yeah, I was like, Kong didn't even want to fight.
Oh, I love this scene. He's like, whoa,
yeah,
whoa.
He's trying to be like,
listen, dude.
It's cool.
He's like, no, I'm going to dive in some water,
right.
And dude, Godzilla is like in these movies, he's a good-ish bad guy.
Godzilla's just a brute. He's like a fist. He just wants to hurt whatever's in his way.
Yeah, and like he's good and bad. So, like he does not care about the structures. So he's just going through everywhere. Like Egypt is taking everything out.
Poor Cairo, got the short end of that stick.
I'd say pyramids are just an inconvenience.
Whatever. So you get a cool fight scene between them. It's just dumb fun, and he uses atomic breath or whatever, and which is now pink. But he's able to trick him into basically falling into Hollow Earth by like throwing some dirt in his face, and he tricks him into going down there. And
yeah, he does. He's like pocket sand.
Yeah, pocket sand.
Well, Mothra shows up.
Mothra shows
says,
up.
"Hey, you guys, stop! Look, okay, we got other things to."
That is what Mothra said. Yeah, word for word.
Because Godzilla is like about to he's got him down. He's like charging up his pink stuff, and Mothra's like, caw, and so basically
that's Mothra.
Godzilla's like, oh. And Kong's like, yeah, it's like, so
charging up his pink stuff.
So they drop into Hollow Earth, but at the same time that Shimu and Scar King are there, and then you get like this epic run at each other where Scar King is riding Shimu, and then Kong just jumps on Godzilla. I'm like, yes, yes,
Money
this is what we
shot.
want. They jump at each other. Sadly, they don't actually hit each other at this point because gravity comes back down.
Sure, yeah.
But then you get like awesome sequences between. It's basically monkey, lizard.
Right.
She was a lizard, I think.
Lizard? I don't know what they are.
Can spit stuff out of their mouth at each other.
Right.
But Scar King's like, I'm gonna go up top, right? And so like you get this whole cool montage of, like them on the gravity trying to go at each other. They're just like swimming around. But when you get to they finally get to the top, and this is like the 8-minute sequence of just kaiju. This is what I want. This is right here. This is the money.
Where they just F up Rio de
Oh
Janeiro.
my gosh, Rio is screwed. But you get a cool, like, really good sequence between Shimu and Godzilla. They're all tag teaming each other, trying to hurt each other, and Kong's like being smart. You know, Kong's like he's a lot smarter than everyone else there. You know,
Yeah,
Scar King's
yeah.
smart too, but he's trying to figure out ways to just win. You know, obviously, but Shimu like hits the air to make it dark. I don't know why he did that. To be fair, I don't know why he froze
Well, I
the air.
think he's doing the atmosphere to try to create, another.
Whatever Scar King wanted him to do.
Well, I think it's like another ice age type thing. You hit the atmosphere with it and
yeah.
let it
I
spread
assumed
out.
there was a purpose. I didn't know what it was. Didn't
No.
really care.
That'd be my guess anyway.
But they have a great fight. There's like Godzilla and Shimu. Godzilla goes down for a little bit, so it's Shimu and Scar King on Kong, which is unfair. Godzilla comes back. It's kind of what you'd expect.
Yeah, yeah.
I will say there's not a ton of Godzilla in this movie. It's more of a Kong story.
Yeah, which
without
I
a doubt.
understand. Like Kong's only had one movie in this universe to himself, so like I
Yeah.
understand if they're gonna lean one way, I get why. And
It's
Kong's
also a little more interesting.
Yeah, I was gonna say Kong's more interesting. There's more emotion. There's
Yeah.
more. He knows freaking sign language for.
Godzilla doesn't have a family. It was alleged that had nuclear stuff, and he became
Yeah,
big.
exactly.
Kong's from a different universe.
So
like a
I
whole different-
understand why they
Well,
lean that way for sure.
Yeah, and I mean you got Godzilla, who's just basically a hammer.
Yeah.
He's not gonna. He doesn't care. So yeah, go with the one that cares and shows emotion and.
Mm-hmm.
All Godzilla cares about is making his territory his own.
Right.
And it helps humanity, kind of. It's like, you're going to have to climb after him, but he's not going to let you die from Titans. He wants this area. He does let you stay here.
Yeah,
He could
yeah.
wipe the whole Earth out. He lets you stay, and he just curls up and roam.
In the Coliseum.
In the Coliseum.
He just uses that as his little
His new
little-
bedroom.
little cot.
And that's kind of how, obviously they beat Scar King at the end. They freeze him, and Kong's like, I'm going to break you in half, and breaks him, whatever.
Yeah, he
and,
does.
which I
Shatters
expected
him.
he was going to do that.
Right.
In the end, it's kind of like,
Give me
just-
real Batman and Robin, Mr. Freeze vibes.
heck yeah.
When he
That's
just-
what I think. Skates came out and everything.
Yeah, they clicked their
Well,
heels together.
and you got the, what's it called, the frozen one, the
Shimu.
Shimu, he's pissed.
He is.
He's like the Scar King's been keeping me captive all this time. I've been doing this stuff, but I'm not happy about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's turn on Scar King, all of us.
Yeah,
Why not?
Mini Kong goes and breaks that little thing
Yeah.
that controls him. And Shimu looks at Godzilla, and Godzilla's like, roar. He's like, yeah, you're right. He's like, you're actually right.
I don't really want to fight.
It was that simple, yeah.
He looks at Godzilla, and Godzilla's like,
He's like, sis, I feel you. Let's do
and
this.
after Kong kills Scar King, he just like smiles. He like gets a little smirk. I'm like, I like that
Yeah, yeah.
because they have like a obviously rivalry, but
Right.
and then at the end, like Godzilla just curls back up, closes his eyes, and ends, basically saying, we're waiting for someone else.
Till
to come.
next
You know,
time,
so it's
yeah.
opening it up. I mean, this movie's gonna make a ton of money, I think, and
I hope so.
it'll stay making money for a little while because there's not a lot of family-friendly ish movies coming out.
Right.
Yeah.
Like a lot of
Ghostbusters
R-rated.
came out, but it's
Yeah.
like I think this will play a lot better overseas. It'll probably do very well overseas as well.
Yeah,
Ghostbusters
those
is
kaiju
mainly
they
like
love them.
Ghostbusters is mainly like a domestic kind of thing, but this
Yeah.
is a good movie, to go just take your family for a good time,
And I can seriously say it's Century Overload. I was just all in it. I loved it. It's just like what I've wanted since they started.
Well,
This
yeah, me too.
Since
I
they
mean,
started this MonsterVerse, like we got the first Godzilla. It's not very good. It's fine.
Well, it's,
Yeah.
it's like every time we review one of these Godzilla movies, whether it's Godzilla Kong, Godzilla, whatever, the one thing we always say is they had too many people in it.
Right.
Mhm.
Give us more Titans, and they did it in this one.
Yeah.
And I think this was much better than a lot of the ones we got in the past. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would say it's. I think it's this one and Kong Skull Island are the best too because I think the Godzillas are just. They have problem with the humans, and then Godzilla versus Kong has problem with humans. Sadly, this one just is better with that. And Kong Skull Island is more of like a. It doesn't have as many problems with humans because it's just Kong. He's there invading. I think it works better.
the next step would be
Yeah.
just give us 15 Titans.
Yeah, I
let
don't-
them go at it. No humans, whatever.
Yeah,
Let's see what happens there.
I want a buddy cop movie next.
Yeah,
You know,
there you
just
go.
Godzilla should be friends with him by now. He understands. So it's like, I'm guessing there'll be some it might be like a Destroy All Monsters where something comes in from the outer space, because that's what happens. Something's just coming from outer space.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
so I don't know what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm excited for what's next. They're trying to make all these different spin-offs and everything, so I'm fine with it. I'm sure Mothra will get her own movie. I'm sure she already has one. It's horrible, but she has a couple. But yeah, that's basically the movie.
That's basically the movie.
I mean,
I
really,
don't know what else to say, really.
Yeah.
It's pretty paper thin, but it's fun. So
Yeah, it's what if you want a movie to be paper thin, it's this one. This is
Yeah.
the one you want to be paper thin.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll go ahead and go around the table and A to Z it.
On a report card, this is a tough one because as far as big dumb monster movies go, it's an A+.
Yeah.
As far as other films go, I would say I'm going to give it like a B- just because I had a good time.
Good.
It's not.
It's all better than I expected it to be. I'm
Yeah,
gonna be
yeah,
honest.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's just what 95% of the population wanted. Paper thin story, ridiculous dumb things in there, but who cares? Who cares?
cares?
Because you got monster action. So
I was gonna say honestly, I had no expectations going into this thing.
Right.
I'd seen all the others. You kind of know what you're gonna get,
Yeah.
when you go in. So I was very happy that they made it more Titans, more monsters, more fighting than they had in the past. But man, the script was dumb. What they did with a lot of people was dumb.
big dumb movie.
Yeah, but but it was still fun.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a C+.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was. I liked it a lot. I can get past. Yeah, some of the script is bad, I guess, but it doesn't. I didn't care for that as much. But
Is this gonna take over Dune Part 2 as your favorite movie of the year?
oh, it's number 2 on my list.
It probably is mine too.
It is number 2 on my
Not
list.
been a lot of great films coming out this year.
I'm giving it a B. Could go up. Won't go down. So could be B plus. I'm not sure yet. But B for right now. I need to watch it a couple more times, and I will. Oh, I will. I can't wait for it to come out. I'm gonna buy this
Without
in
a
a
doubt.
4K. This is
I
a
will.
4K time movie.
Well, you're gonna see it next weekend, aren't you?
Yeah, actually, I'm going to watch it again next weekend because my wife couldn't come watch it with us, so she's gonna watch it again. So yeah, maybe I'll give it B plus.
Sounds like a her problem.
Yeah, I know. This is a 4K movie right here. There's so much color and stuff in this movie, but
is.
Yeah, a lot going on.
yeah, let's go watch it. We all liked it enough to at least I'd recommend watching, especially if you like these movies. So now we're going to transition into our 2023 review. We're not going to do it all a day. We probably do, so however many movies we get to on our time limit we have.
This is what we've been waiting for, man.
There are a lot of movies on here. Well, if this is your first time on listen to this, what we do is we have movies on the 2023 movie list, and it's not every single movie that came out, but it's all the ones that either we watched or are relevant.
Yeah.
Every single one of them, at least one of us has watched, which is on purpose. I've seen a lot of them. I haven't seen a couple of them, but so I know you guys have seen them.
Yes.
And we'll just give, if we liked it, maybe a short review, maybe not even that. We'll just kind of tell
quickly
you.
touch on it, move on.
By the end, which hopefully we'll probably finish it next time, at the very end, we'll give our top 10 movie of 2023 and on our bottom 5. And there'll be a graphic wherever, I don't want to point because I don't actually know where it's going to be yet, but there'll be a graphic of our list that I'll make to put on for people that are actually watching on
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah. And I think that's a good disclaimer to have to start with because, granted, the three of us watched a lot of films from 2023. However, we didn't watch all of them. We cannot, because you may be listening to this episode thinking, where is Big George Foreman or where is They Clone Tyrone or something? We can't watch
Yeah.
them all.
I
We
will
just can't.
say there's 117 that we have on here, and that's a lot. I think last year we had 90, so it's like we've gone up a little bit, but there are thousands of movies that come out each year. So
True.
So this list is not in order by when they came out.
Super random.
It is at first kind of, but it kind of gets like jumbled up because of how we do it. So okay, how it works, I'll just say it. If you've seen it, whatever.
Let's get going, baby.
Number 1, we're starting with A Man Named Otto. This is that Tom Hanks movie. Where,
Never got around to it.
it was delightful. I
was.
actually really liked it.
It was pretty good.
It was heartfelt. Tom Hanks is always good.
Terrible actor.
Yeah, it's horrible. I liked it a lot. I liked it
I
a
was
lot more
gonna
than I
say
thought.
that this was a remake from a foreign film, and it was good enough that it makes me want to go watch the original because really 8-9 times out of 10 the original is actually better,
Yeah.
and so I've got that on my list to watch.
Right. I won't. I liked it, but I don't think I want to go back and watch it.
I feel
you know what I
you,
mean?
And I may
Um,
watch it one of these days if I just see it on TV. I don't know.
It was on
But
some
just didn't get
streaming
around to
service that I don't remember what
Yeah, I
it was
can't
on.
remember
If I
either.
watched it, yeah. because I watched it pretty recently, like
Yeah.
It might have
So-
been on Netflix at one time. I don't know.
something.
Yeah.
Next, we have Infinity Pool. Alexander Skarsgård, Mia Goth. It's a really strange
It
movie.
is very,
This movie is gross, but it's a whole vibe.
It's gross. It is not what I thought it was going to be. Going in and realize the plot of this movie, I guess.
Right.
I thought the plot was different. That's fine. I'm cool with the plot was weird, over the top, and by the end you have to kind of what's going on, and you got to figure it for yourself. It's not for the
faint of heart.
Yeah, it's gross. There's a lot of gross scenes, but it's also trippy and kind of interesting. So
Yeah, it's weird, disgusting, over the top body horror but also it made me think, so I'm glad, and I love Alexander Skarsgård and I love Mia Goth. They both give wild over the top performances. If you're in the mood for just a nasty body horror kind of film, I really enjoyed this one actually.
yeah.
And me too. Like you said, it has that vibe, and I'm into that vibe. It's just really cool.
Yeah, it's got that perverse vibe
yeah,
that
it's
you
just-
want from something like this.
It's just out there. It's weird. It's strange, and if you can get behind it, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a big if, to be honest,
Right.
depending on how you are.
Yep.
But next we have Mithrigan or Megan, but I call it Mithrigan because that's what it says. I did not watch the R version of this. We wouldn't watch the PG-13. I might never watch the R version of this. I liked it enough.
Yeah.
Now maybe I'll watch it at Halloween time, R-rated version, because
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
big into watching horror movies in October. So maybe I'll get back to it, but it's just not one that I wanted to watch so soon after it came out.
I feel you.
'Cause I think it would be better R. I think it's just kind of campy, fun stuff. It's a different take on like a Chucky type thing with
Yeah.
AI, but I think it needs to be R. And I think when I watch it again, I might like it a little more. It's good. I mean, it was fine. It came out in what, January,
Yeah,
February?
it was,
So it's
for,
like,
yeah.
for a January Blumhouse movie,
Yeah.
it's a pretty fun time, really. I mean, like it's a fun, campy, over the top horror film or horror comedy, I guess, and it leans more into comedy, which I think works very well to its advantage. So
Right.
if you know what you're strapping in for, you can have a fun time with Mthrigan.
Yeah. The
Mm-hmm.
next
Yeah,
one's
and I'll just-
Mithrigan 2.0, by the way.
Yes, it is.
I'll just reemphasize. Yes, it was fun to watch. It actually surprised me
Mhm.
because I was not expecting it to be that good. Like I said, it's not it's not a masterpiece, but it was good enough to sit through and had some good laughs, had some decent kills. The problem was that the kills were off camera. I think we might have got a little more into that had we watched the unrated version, which didn't come out till later.
Right.
But still, overall, decent. I think it made quite a bit of money.
It made-
so-
It made a decent amount,
Yeah.
enough to warrant a sequel.
Yeah, so it was. I'd watch the sequel.
Yeah, I will too.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be R this time, which is fine. It
I hope
needs to be
so.
probably. Next we have Missing. Did you guys watch this?
I
This
did
is
not-
that Screen Life movie, right?
I did not watch
So the first one, what was the first one
Searching.
called? Searching, which I really liked.
Mhm.
It's all shot on different cameras. Like you see her webcam, or you see it's all shot like that, or you see what's on her computer.
Right.
Yeah, it's like Screen Life, like Unfriended.
Yes, it's kind of like that, but it's better because those movies are kind of bad. But Missing, her mom goes missing, and she's trying to find her by doing all these different things. And there's a big plot. It's like a crime thriller abduction movie.
Yeah, I never got a chance to see it. I heard it was pretty good though.
It's surprisingly good. I
Yeah.
liked Searching a lot, and I
Yeah,
was
I
like,
did too. I never got around to this
and
one.
this is kind of like it's not a sequel because it's not the same people, but it's
Right.
the same idea.
Mm.
And I think it's done really well. And by the end, like you only see things through cameras. Like
Mhm.
you don't ever see anything any other way. So a phone camera or like security cameras, whatever. And I think that can be bad. It works good in this one. There's a whole thing like there's twists and turns. You think you understand what's going on, and you really don't. By the end, it's just you don't know if like her mom was ever real. You know, it's all kind of they do all kinds of different stuff.
Yeah,
So it's good. It's good. Did anybody else watch it?
No.
No, I didn't
Okay.
get a chance to.
I would recommend it. I think it was on something. I don't know. Then we get to the action movie of the year, Plane. This one,
Mr. Butler.
Of
this
the
one
year,
is
yes.
not good, but it's not.
It's very typical.
They
though.
got
I mean,
Boat
it's-
coming
yeah.
out now,
got Boat.
so it did well enough.
He just, it's a plane goes down. They're stuck in enemy territory, and he's just a dude that fights through things. I've
They're not even on the plane very long, are they?
no.
I
I
didn't see it.
honestly forgot most of. Who else is in this? Who's the other guy? in
Oh, I
this?
can't remember his name.
Is it Jim and
Um,
Hansu? I
don't-
feel
I don't
like he's in
know.
this.
Anyways, but you've seen it.
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
Mhm.
Okay, so I thought it was fine. It's whatever.
It was an action movie. I mean,
No, it's Mike Coulter. Sorry.
it's very generic, I guess is the word I'm looking for. You've seen these type of movies 100 times. Very generic. He's, the hero with the guy you just mentioned, and
Right.
it's just
Gerard Butler just
it
lives
is.
and breathes these movies.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not the worst movie I've ever seen, but not the greatest. So
It has over the. I wouldn't say over the top action.
No,
it has
not
like
really.
normal action,
Yeah.
but it's fine. And he's just got a gun and he trying to get all these people back safely
Right.
because they're in enemy territory. It's pretty simple. I
Yep,
mean,
yep, yep.
his whole all the passengers on the plane have been abducted by gorillas.
not real ones.
No, not real
Guerrilla
gorillas.
warfare.
Yes,
It's not like King
Um,
Kong stuff.
but they've all
Bummer.
been
Not Congo.
kidnapped, and he and this other guy are going in to save them and
Yeah.
rescue them, and it's just like I said, it's very, very typical.
What you don't know, it's a prequel to Congo, and gorillas came out and got them. So, but yeah, it's as plain as its title, plain.
There you go.
That's kind of what
So
it is.
yeah, it's what you expect. Next, we have The Pale Blue Eye. Came out early last year with Christian Bale, and the dude that plays Dudley. Can I remember his name? Harry
Henry
Potter.
Melling, I'm pretty sure.
He plays Edgar Allan Poe, and Christian Bale is a detective, and it's all about. It's a good crime little thriller thing. It's slow paced, like noir type thing. I liked it a lot. It didn't get great reviews. I think it's because of its length.
Mm-hmm.
But those longer, slow burners don't get good reviews usually. So.
Yeah, I would say this is one of those films that was strange because it came out in like theaters like December of 2022 and then came out on Netflix January 2023. So anyway, and yeah, it's kind of sad that like it just kind of came and went. Nobody really talks about it because I think it is a very interesting, well done, kind of eerie, damp film noir murder mystery. When I thought the movie was going to end, it had a whole nother layer that like completely changed the emotional impact of the film. I enjoyed it quite a bit actually.
Yeah, I did not know what to expect going into
Me
this.
neither.
It was just I saw it on Netflix. I was like, Christian Bale, Edgar Allan Poe. Yeah, I'm a huge Edgar Allan Poe fan, so yeah, I'm gonna watch it. Surprised me, man. Very good. Of course, well acted. I thought the story was pretty decent. It was dark, almost gothic. It was just it was a really good movie.
Yeah, it's got to put some good twists and turns on it too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
More people should check it out. Yeah.
yeah, I think it's still on Netflix probably.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
is.
I'm sure. Next, 80 for Brady. It's one of the ones I didn't watch.
too.
I couldn't bring myself to watch it.
There was a lot of
Well-
January and February releases last year that I never got around to.
Oh, guess who sat through it? Yeah.
Was it life changing?
Oh, totally.
All right.
This was very okay.
Right.
There's an
Um,
audience for this, I feel like.
yeah,
and we're
I
not
mean-
really it.
Patriots fans and old people. I mean, like I don't know what else is it.
And it was, I mean, it had some laughs, but most of the humor didn't quite hit.
I figured it all in the trailer.
Yeah, and it was a good story. I think it's actually based on a true story and about a group of older women who wanted to see Tom Brady, and
Who doesn't?
one was dying. And
Mm.
so it just came, I thought it was just a really, as far as that goes, once you've realized what it is, it's okay,
Right.
but the humor just doesn't quite hit throughout the movie.
Yeah.
The acting was okay. It was just, you got some cameos by some football players and stuff, but besides that, it was just okay.
If you cast Rob Gronkowski and I'm not watching it. So that's where I'm at. Next we have Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Big wet fart in the MCU. It's one of the worst looking movies of the year, sadly.
Yeah.
CGI wise.
How do you do that? I mean, come on.
We watched Godzilla and Kong last night, and it looked better, like a lot better. And MCU made, and I don't know, it's whatever. We all know that you can make good movies look good,
Mhm.
and MCU's like, I don't want to.
Yeah.
I'm gonna green screen everything and make it look
It's
bad.
like we just don't care.
Paul Rudd can only carry the movie so much. You know,
he's the bright point. Yeah,
it was just a mess, and it just looked like a Linkin Park video from 2000. You know,
Yeah,
it
not
just
good.
didn't feel it. Didn't feel it now.
it sucks 'cause I like the characters. But
Yeah, I mean, it just wasn't great. I mean, even the story wasn't great.
No.
So, I mean,
No.
what are you going to do?
Jonathan Majors was good before he turned into an abusive a-hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess he was already one.
I
At
guess
point.
he was during the. I didn't. Yeah, we didn't know at the time. But
The sad part, he was kind of the highlight, one of the highlights as far as
he was cool.
because I hadn't seen a whole
Kang
lot.
is cool, I should say.
I hadn't seen a whole lot.
yeah,
of,
he's not a cool dude.
Yeah.
Let's throw that out there.
hadn't seen a whole lot of his filmography to this point,
Right.
and he hadn't had a lot to this point, but he was one of the highlights as far as the acting goes.
Yeah, kind of about the time he blew up. I guess he blew up in real life too. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, he did. He got convicted for it, so
yeah, not good.
Not
anyway,
what else I was gonna say? Oh, one disclaimer I'll say right here is a lot of these movies we have full length on our Apple podcast, not on YouTube because it's new. So if we don't talk about something a lot, that's why. Like a lot of the movies we already talked
Go
about.
check out
we
some of our
do,
old
yeah, you can
podcasts,
go
yeah.
back and we have them. They'll say
Mhm.
Matrix Mini Pod on them. Like that was one of them. We did Ant-Man and the Wasp. So
We talked about it longer than we should have, really. But
yeah,
More
you
than
know.
likely, yeah.
Next we have Cocaine Bear.
Nice.
You know, it was not good. I wanted to be better than what it was. It was just fine.
But some of it was fun.
Yeah,
Some of it was fun,
Yeah,
though.
I
fun
had
with it.
enough. I had enough fun with it. I would have been cool for it going more over the top and more
Mm-hmm.
ridiculous than it actually was. But it was fun enough. You know, it was
Right.
fun enough from a movie called Cocaine Bear.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, was it a good movie? No.
No,
Was
absolutely
it?
not.
Was
but
it fun? Yeah, at times it was.
I think the direction of it was a problem. Some of that.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, the way that she directed it was kind of rough.
This is
But
Elizabeth
whatever.
Banks' best
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean,
Pittsburgh
it-
3 is pretty good. I think it's a good movie. Pittsburgh 2 sucks, but she did 2 and 3, I think. She
No,
did,
I don't think she did 3,
She
actually.
didn't do 3. She didn't do 1 either. I know she just
No.
did. Yeah.
I don't know. Not
Ma-
important.
It's better than 2. That's what it is better than 2 then.
Well, like I said, this was fun enough. Would I watch it again?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Ray Liotta's last film.
Yeah, yeah.
Rest in peace.
true.
Rip Ray.
Next we have one of Matt's favorite movies of the year. Winnie the Pooh. Blood and Honey
Gosh,
came out.
dude.
I liked it enough.
did
It's
I.
a bad no, it's a bad
It
movie.
is.
Yeah, it's
It
not,
is a bad.
I'm not trying to say it's good. I just had fun with it. It's over the top dumb.
I was gonna say, but at the same time, I mean, there's enough bad movies out there that
We're about to talk about one.
they're bad, but they're fun to watch because of how bad they are.
Yeah.
This is one of those.
I didn't feel like it was fun because it didn't even like lean into like the campness. It just didn't even lean into like the fun you could have with it. It just
maybe
felt
it was-
like
Maybe it was just the whole craziness of having, Pooh as a murderer.
yeah,
I
but
mean, that just kind of.
and I was trust me, I'm
Getting
down
into
for
that
some
vibe.
stupid stuff like that. I really am. I mean, I was excited about this film actually, but it's just fat guys with poo masks on. You know what I mean? It's just the most lazy, uninspired slasher
Well, I mean-
film that you could have.
I mean, when you make the whole movie with $20, I mean, come on.
yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It had a very. I'll give them props for it. It didn't look like they made it for
It
a
was-
pizza and a case of
Oh,
beer.
yeah, I
you
think
know
it
what I mean?
was
Because I think
200,000.
that's how much they made it for. It was like $10,000 or something.
And
I
they
don't
made,
know.
and they made a ton of money too.
That's why they got the second one
comparatively.
coming out. You know, and the
Right.
second one's got good reviews so far.
It
We're definitely
does.
going to check that out in the next year. But I just didn't. When I watched this film, I'm a sucker for a dumb slasher movie. Just nothing about this film was done with any skill or care. The story, the screenplay, literally everything was just objectively bad. It could have been a halfway dumb fun time, but it was just tough to get through. It was like a prostate exam.
I had a fun enough time with it.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I liked it enough. I mean, I bought it, but it.
Did you really?
Yeah,
So did I.
I
Hey.
think the next one will be better. Because they're able to put the money in the prosthetics. Yeah, the mask looks bad, but that's all
Yes.
they could do. But this next one, Tigger looks pretty good. I can't believe I've said that out loud. It's hard to say it out loud because the Pooh universe is coming out. So
Right.
we'll talk about that later on.
Yeah, it is.
That can be our news segment one time. Moving on, we've got Dungeons and Dragons. I didn't really like this. I thought it was fine. I thought it was bloated, and I didn't love it. People said it was like the best movie of the summer or
No,
whatever.
I disagree with that.
And it's like, I didn't like it that much. I'll be honest. It was fine. I had trouble getting through it. I think I just don't like Justice Smith that much. I'm starting to like. He's starting to get on my nerves a little bit. Chris Pine's having fun, sure, I guess. I don't know. Michelle Rodriguez. I just don't think she's a very good actress in anything. Even in my favorite movies, in Fast and
Yeah.
Furious, not my favorite movies, but I just don't think she's a very good actress either. So, it wasn't for me. I guess
Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant. I liked him in it, I guess,
Yeah.
but it just wasn't for me. It was
I
fine.
enjoyed it more than you guys did. I think it's written by the guys who made it's written and directed by the guys who made Game Night. I think it's really funny. It's really witty, and I think Chris Pine is very good. I don't really like Justice Smith or Michelle Rodriguez or a
Yeah.
couple of the side characters. I had a fun time with it. It's a little too long. Yeah, Hugh Grant has a good time. It's funny that like you read these interviews now about Hugh Grant, how he hates acting, like he doesn't want to be an actor.
Yeah.
It seems like he's having a good time.
He's doing that Noompa Loompa.
And Wonka, yeah.
Yeah,
that's
it's not one of my favorite films, like some people were saying, but I had a fun time with it. I think it's well done enough, and Chris Pines can carry anything really. He's got that charm.
Yeah, for me, I just didn't hit the mark for me. And for you said it's really funny. I didn't feel like enough of the comedy hit, and so that was a big problem with me. And I didn't care for the story a whole lot. So that's where I stand.
I think it was fine. It looked decent. I don't think it was bad. I just didn't like it as much as everyone said. Maybe I just
Right.
watched it too late. I heard all the reviews. It
Yeah,
gets in your
probably.
head sometimes. We'll do about 3 more because that stops at a good point, or 4 more. Next we have Sick. I think we all watched Sick. This
Yeah.
is a slasher based on COVID. That's why it's called Sick. I actually liked it. I thought the ending was funny enough. It leans into that campy, dumb, why we're doing this kind of stuff. The killer is interesting. It's not a good movie, really. It's just a fun slasher that I had a lot more fun with than I thought I would. And the acting is okay. I mean, I thought it'd be worse than what it was. No, so I had a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. I watched this just because I just saw it on Peacock at the beginning of last year, and I thought, hey, let's check this out. It doesn't redefine the horror slasher genre or anything, but you know what? It puts a fresh twist on the classic home invasion kind of slasher thriller. I mean, like, really, it's well made enough. It's well written enough. Sometimes the script shines. Sometimes it feels kind of clunky and forced. But overall, like, it had a handful of new ideas that I hadn't really seen in this type of a film before. So I had a good enough time with it. I'm glad I watched it.
Yeah,
Thought it was well made. I thought that it just reemphasized the whole slasher thing. It wasn't anything new for me. It wasn't anything groundbreaking. The whole reason for it was different. That's for sure.
Yeah. True.
So
admit.
it was for me. It was just okay. It wasn't great. I probably never watch it again. So it was just okay.
It was a pin. I mean, if I'm gonna watch a slasher, I probably find.
Yeah, I'll put on something that's better.
Yeah. Next is one I've only watched myself, and I wish I wouldn't have. Kill Her Goats.
Yeah, I didn't get to this one.
So
I saw that on the list, and I thought, I'm okay.
I'm not saying kill her. I'm saying kill her goats.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna put that out there. It's horrible. It's just about like this girl, her family dies, so she inherits this huge house, and then there's these big goat people that come and try to kill her, and it's just like over the top sexual, like dumb, like old 80s 70s like type stuff.
Sexual goats?
No. And I'm gonna spoil it. They're not real goats. They're masks.
Nice.
Actually, they're just trying to scare away from the manor. Stupid.
Dang. I was
so
really looking forward
spoiled.
Yeah. Mark
Next,
that off my watch list.
Next we have Shazam: Fury of the Gods. I didn't like this one.
to this. I've already forgotten 95% of it.
It's pretty forgettable.
Zachary Levi's fine. The rest of it. And again, this came out right after they said, hey, the DCEU, no more.
Yeah.
So why should anybody care?
They're keeping him, I think, actually. But anyways, doesn't matter.
They should.
The movie, they made up the villains, not real comic villains. They got Helen Mirren to appear, and they made a Fast and Furious joke, so I thought that was meta.
There you go.
Yeah.
And then Lucy Liu's there.
Yes, she is. She shows up.
She is very
It's
much.
a bad story.
So does Helen Mirren.
It's bad CGI. Horrible CGI on that dragon, guys. I'm telling you, man. It's like the Dungeon Dragon looks
That
so
was
much
pretty bad,
better.
yeah.
Yeah, it does.
I actually just like this a lot because I like the first one quite a bit, you know. So whatever. Anything else on that one?
I didn't mind it. I didn't.
You liked it more than us. That's
Yeah,
right.
I didn't
I knew
mind
one of
it.
us liked it more.
I didn't mind it. It wasn't a great movie, but
Right.
I didn't mind it. I like that they went back to where he was the actual hero of the story instead of the whole family. But besides
Screw that family.
Besides that, it was just okay. I mean, it
Yeah.
wasn't anything great.
Except the plot point of the movie is his freaking brother just wants to be super still. I'm like,
Right.
gosh, you're super already.
I don't even remember that about it.
Yeah, he's the reason half it
I
happens.
forgot so much of this movie.
Yeah, it's forgettable. Last one we're going to do today is Past Lives. I feel like it's a good one to end on. Past Lives is a heartbreaking story about two kids that grow up together. They grow apart because she moves to America and I think it's Korea, right?
It is Korea, yes.
And they can never connect. You know, like every time they do connect, it's not good for the other person. And then by the time they do connect, one person has kind of already gone their way. And it's really a really good. It came out obviously last year. I'm not going to say much about it, but it's a really, really good story told in a way that I think is refreshing.
Yes.
And it ends in a way that people might not like, but I think it's refreshing that life doesn't always work out the way you want. You miss moments in life because life takes you places like to the U.S. when you have to stay in Korea, or you know. And so I don't know. I thought it was super. It's super sad too, though. I mean, like the end scene is like that they might have been what could have been if they just could have hit the right marks together. I don't know.
Yeah, this movie is kind of like the definition of the right person, wrong timing, you know? And I think it's not going to be for everybody. Like, I can't picture my dad watching this or something, you know what I mean? But it's I will say, it's beautiful. It's very subtle. There's like zero film cliches in this movie. Everything is done so naturally and so, I don't know, so naturally and so subtle that it just feels so beautiful and so kind of heartbreaking by the end of it. But yeah, it's just a very, very, very well done, very beautiful story.
Yeah, it is, and by the end of it, you kind of feel. You don't feel satisfied by the end of this. You feel kind of like you almost feel like you wanted things to go differently.
Almost like the characters do.
You know,
Yeah, I mean, I agree.
because
You do want things to go differently, but if things had gone differently in the film, we probably wouldn't like it as much. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, there wouldn't have been a film.
Probably would have turned into a cliche or something. Yeah.
Because you feel like throughout this whole thing, it's their priorities that you go, man, why did you do this? Why did you're questioning their decisions,
Mm-hmm.
but these are the decisions they had to make. Usually it was, work over love was the decision to be
Right.
made.
Yeah.
And, she eventually, found another love, but, by the end you don't feel like it's as strong as the one she could have had.
I've never been rooting against the plain white guy
Exactly.
in my entire life.
I
I
know.
was like,
and
nobody wants you,
this
dude.
one you kind of are, and it's just it makes you feel kind of weird by the
Yeah.
end of it. But it was a good ride. It was a good story. It was so well made.
Yeah.
The acting was great, and it just worked.
I don't think it took home any Oscars, but
Yeah.
I'm glad it got nominated for several.
The
Yeah.
story that it just really worked really well.
Yeah, and it was acted well too. It's like it doesn't
Yeah.
work unless you feel the chemistry. And there's a
Yeah.
ton to be
Oh
felt.
yeah, without a doubt.
And you just kind of feel bad for both sides of it throughout the whole thing. And by the end, you're like, is that the right decision? You have to make it for yourself. And
Mhm.
if these characters do what they have to do, I mean, life sucks sometimes. You don't end up, you might not do exactly what you think is going to happen. And
Mhm.
it's okay, though, So, yeah, we're going to stop there with this. We will continue this next episode, hopefully finish next episode. If not, we'll finish the next one. But, yeah, so that's us. That's where we're at right now.
That was fun. Yeah, this was interesting. We covered a lot of ground here today,
We did.
boys. I'm gonna go ahead and plug a few things for us. And all of our socials and whatnot will be on the screen. But
Right here, I think.
you can
Trying to
basically
think about- I think it's going to be right here.
you can basically think of a social media platform. You can find us there at Movie Matrix Pod. If you want to reach out to us, I am Matt Diggs Film on Letterboxd. David is Farming Film, spelled with 2 PHs there. Well, PH for each
Yeah.
There you go.
each
Yeah.
F sounding one. Jordan Reviews 21. You can find him on Letterboxd. Like I said, you can hit us up on any of our socials at Movie Matrix Pod. Thank you for sitting through this, listening to us. Sorry, the trailer for Kill Her Goats is playing on my laptop. Got to get that off of there. That's wildly distracting. Anyway, thank you for sitting through this, listening to this with us. It was fun. Yeah, join us next week. We're going to be diving deep into the films of 2023. Thank you for listening to this. Reach out to us, hit us up, let us know what you thought about this episode or any of our episodes for that matter. But until next time, signing off for Matt, Jordan, and David. We will see you guys then.
Peace.